Good morning, glad to be here. I'm replacing Davey, so I'm the guy flying over 30 hours to do a 10-minute speech, but that's... but Davey's a great guy. We spend a lot of time in his office in San Francisco, and actually now we have our own office. So I'm Pieterjan. I will talk about entrepreneurship, and I will share some of my experiences, some of my thoughts, maybe some of my advice with you. Maybe a short word about myself. I'm born in Bruges. If I would speak Dutch, you would hear it at my accent. I hope you don't hear that accent right now. I'm living in Ghent. I studied communication sciences, and after I got my diploma, I crossed the Western Sahara in a Lada Niva that I bought for 500 euros. So unfortunately, the Lada did make it. I made it back, but today I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship. And although that experience was probably more valuable than the 4 years of studying to get my university diploma, I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship. After graduating, I started working as a consultant. After that, while I was a consultant, I read an article about a small company at that time called Netlog. It was a social network. I'm sure here the Belgian audience knows Netlog. I wrote an email to the CEO. I got a job 2 weeks later. I was in a 10-man company. And after a couple of months, that company became pretty big. It became a bit of a hype in Belgium until, of course, you know the story, it got crushed by Facebook. And while I was at Netlog, I worked there 3 years. I had a tremendous experience working with people, doing things, getting out of my comfort zone. And I met Louis there, my co-founder of In The Pocket and Showpad, and Jeroen. And that's when we started thinking about building our own company. And we saw the huge mobile wave. We saw that smartphones and tablets, we felt that they would take over the world. And we said, let's start a company. That's how it looks. It's not that glamorous. It's at my kitchen table in a weekend. And we were thinking about starting a company, developing mobile applications, providing mobile solutions for enterprises, media companies. And one of the first things, if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, one of the first things, which was actually a difficult thing to do, is you need to get out of that, what I call the golden cage. I had a great job, I made some money, I could travel the world, I had a great team, great experience, but still inside of me I felt that urge to do something myself. But to do that and to start your own company, you have to get out of the golden cage and the secure environment of the job you have, the paycheck you get every month, the long holidays you could take, the long weekends, and also if you come home at night, you might have some stress or you might be worrying about some things if you're a really good employee, but still at the end of the day, you have a nice life. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you really need to, first of all, get out of that cage. The second thing, and this is something actually 4 years ago, just before we founded our company, I was in Antwerp, listening to Seth Godin, who gave one of his famous talks, and he talked about the lizard brain. And what is the lizard brain? Everybody knows lizards. They're very scary animals, and the least danger there is, they will just run and hide. So they live of basic reflexes and just their instinct. And the lizard brain is one of the oldest parts in our brain that has all of your very instinctive reactions, and also your reaction to fear, how you react to fear, and your reflexes are programmed in there. It's one of the oldest things, that has been passed along throughout humanity. And so when you make the step to become an entrepreneur, or you want to become an entrepreneur, you really need to be able to switch off that part of your brain. Because it's that part that tells you, if I quit my job and I start my company, but what if in 3 months nobody buys my product, my employees leave me, and I lost all my money, and I will be naked in the gutter. Without clothes, without money, I will lose my home. It's that part of your brain that constantly tells you, warning, this is a dangerous decision, don't take it, don't do it, it's too dangerous, you're going to get yourself killed or in a lot of trouble. the lizard brain in action, that's how it looks. This is a baseball bat flying into the audience, so this is how the lizard brain looks, in action, yeah. It's basic instinct, basic reflexes. So, but ignoring the lizard brain and getting out of my golden cage, it can lead to really great things. And over the last 4 years, I've built 2 companies with my co-founders. This is actually a picture of last year. We're employing more than 65 people. We have offices in Ghent, in San Francisco, in Portland. We're building great product, doing great stuff with young people, and it's great. And it's because I ignored the lizard brain and I shut it off. So yeah, this is the offices we have, and these are the companies that we started. So In the Pocket builds mobile apps, and Showpad is a platform for salespeople to make them more productive. So what defines an entrepreneur? And besides being able to fly out of your golden cage, shutting off the lizard brain, for me, it's about passion and execution. Passion, it's passion for your team, passion for the people you work with, passion for the product means really trying to solve a product, really caring about developing a product that's nice, that works, that really helps companies, businesses, your clients to get work done, to be more efficient, or to help them solve the problem. And third, it's really caring deeply about your customers. If you want to be a good entrepreneur, you need to care about your customers, you need to listen to them, you need to listen to the criticism they have, you need to listen to their questions, you need to answer the phone, at 10 p.m. at night because the website went down or stuff went wrong, but care deeply about your customers. And so when you're passionate about those 3 things, it's already another good thing and a start to success. I hear a lot of entrepreneurs come to me with ideas, or they tell me, yeah, I have this idea, I want to discuss it with you. Would you please first sign an NDA, because else I'm not going to share it because this idea is so precious and things like that, and it's the best idea ever. A good idea is a good thing, and this is, I found this on the internet. It's from Rajesh Shetty, and he wrote a blog post on ideas versus execution and how you can categorize a bit people and how they deal with that. But for me, it's all about the execution, because that is also a big differentiator. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to execute. You just ship, just start doing stuff. And, you might do a lot of stuff wrong in the beginning, and I do stuff wrong every day, and I make a lot of mistakes every day, every week, but I ship, I learn, and I keep shipping. So last year I spent about 100 days in the US. Louis, my co-founder, he actually moved there. I've been on 4 trips already. My 4th trip is coming up next week, so I fly a lot back and forth, and I do think, although the U.S. society has its good things, its bad things, I do think we can learn, especially in entrepreneurship, some stuff from our friends in the U.S. and who are now visiting our country. But first, our strengths. What do I believe are the strengths here in Belgium? We are highly educated. I see that every day. We have great education, great people. We work very hard. We're very productive people. We're humble. It's a strength, but it's also a weakness sometimes. We're very adaptable, being it from speaking multiple languages to adapting to other cultures, to adapting to other ways of thinking. We're very good people, easy people to collaborate with, and we integrate easily. And our geography and market are actually great. We're at the heart of Europe, and Belgian market is a great market to test new products, in my opinion. Some of the weaknesses I notice, and I don't want to focus too hard on that because I'm a positive person, but we're a quite risk-averse society. It's a bit linked to when I told my mother or my grandmother I will start my own company, they're all like, don't do this, and why would you do that? And you have such a great job, and stay where you are, and we're very risk-averse. There's a negative perception of entrepreneurs. It's a bit generalized. I do realize it's not always the case, but still, you do, in the media sometimes it's a lot about making money and things like that, and not about the product or what entrepreneurs actually do. I do believe the government, we have too much barriers and too much subsidies for being entrepreneurs. I I only took one subsidy for 3,000 euros from the city of Ghent because I only had to fill in one form. It was very easy, so I just did that. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of over-subsidized entrepreneurship, except for maybe things like in agricultural stuff or really things, medicine or cancer research or things like that. Also, I think we should deal better with success. If somebody in Belgium, most of the first questions I get from other people are, you must be making a lot of money or things like that. Or if somebody sells their company for a big sum, people will focus on the money, but not on the things that person will probably do with the money he got from selling the company. So we should deal in a better way with success. And I believe there's just a total lack of attention for entrepreneurship and education. It might have improved a bit since I left school or university, but still, if you compare that to the kids in the US, it's crazy. They constantly need to, get out of their comfort zone. They learn how to sell themselves. They really, they are a bit programmed to be more entrepreneurial from when they're young. And so if you combine that with the lizard brain that everybody has and the golden cage you need to fly out, we're not always in a good position, and it's a bit logical that I read an article that there are more than that there are so many people who would like to work for the government or who would like to get a real steady job instead of being an entrepreneur. So my most important takeaways from the US: positive attitude. They are so positive. Sometimes it's over positive, but they're very positive and it helps. There's a great perception and a good perception for entrepreneurs. They really have a culture of paying it forward. They think big. Starting a small company is as difficult as starting a big company, so think big from the beginning. They grant each other the success, and they have a lot more attention for entrepreneurship with young kids and in education. So my final lessons learned, and some of my advice is there's no substitute for hard work. I've been working 4 years incredibly hard, but I just love it because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, so it doesn't matter. Believing is important. I really believe in the self-fulfilling prophecy where your beliefs about yourself impact actions towards other people. That impacts how people perceive you and how other people believe who you are. That impacts their actions versus you again, and that's really something very powerful. I really believe in the self-fulfilling prophecy. And some people ask me about luck. Well, for me, luck is when opportunity meets preparation, and I really believe that you build your own luck. So be prepared. And finally, make sure you have this attitude every day. If you want to become an entrepreneur, go for it 100%, give yourself 100% every day, and then you won't end up naked in the gutter, but you'll have a very fun life. So thank you very much. That was it for me. So.